Well, good morning. It's Tuesday, March 18th, the day after St. Patrick's Day. And no, I'm not hungover. A little bit tired, a little bit weary. Stormy the dog is snoring away on the couch because it snowed again last night. But that's the way things go. Well, today in Canada is the first day, I guess you can say, without the Bay. Bay department stores are now a done deal. And for what started 300 years ago, the final nail in this coffin fell. Even that it was really actually not a Canadian institution anymore. An American by the name of Richard Baker bought it in 2008. It's gone. And if you look at our retail market in the process, what's all left? Woodward's department stores in Western Alberta, gone. Sears, gone. Kmart, gone. Woolco, gone. Woolworths, gone. Eaton's, gone. The idea of the big retailer is pretty much gone. And the reason being is that the supply chain works in an entirely different fashion than what it did back in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, where you had the introduction of the big scale shopping malls and the anchor stores at the Bay and Eaton's and Sears, and you could buy anything under the sun in those locations. And then it was put together with these malls with these small retailers like Thrifties or other places that don't exist anymore, simply because retail has changed the way we do business. And the laugh is that, really when it comes all down to it, there's nothing wrong with that. Everything changes. People's expectations change. People still want quality, but they want quality at a much lower price. And the concept of the department store is pretty much antiquated in the sense that you have these large centers, huge overheads, and all those overheads, of course, are trickled down in terms of the price of what the consumer has to pay. Well, people don't want to pay that because wages have not kept up to the eventual prices of what goods and services that we try to buy. So we look always for the cheaper deal. Amazon originally had the idea, and probably the best idea, of turning what was the big box into this global international warehousing marketplace. The only problem with Amazon is that here we go, Temu, a far greater Chinese competitor, all right, who can sell the exact same merchandise that Amazon sells, but at a far less price, is now starting to take over. And Amazon is beginning to lose money because people do not want to pay the type of prices for the same goods that they can get cheaper somewhere else. Things are changing. Things are always changing. And the biggest change of all is the way governments work amongst their people. And truth be told, a lot of the government shakedown and a lot of the rhetoric you hear is based to protect large American multinational corporations, Ford, GM, Chrysler, from basic exports from China of vehicles and other goods. And to prove that, all you have to do is look at BYD vehicles, electric vehicles made in China. A great car, a very luxurious car, an SUV that will cost you $10,000 to $14,000. You don't think that people wouldn't be going out and buying those? Of course they would. But it would cost thousands upon thousands of jobs in the North American automobile manufacturing business. And so Canada slaps a 100% tariff on Chinese-made cars. This is not a new thing. Again, look at Japan after the war. What happened? Japan basically closed its doors and became, in the late 1960s and 70s, this huge economic manufacturing powerhouse. You had Nissan Motors, Datsun, Toyota, Honda. In televisions, you had Sony, Panasonic, Hitachi, all these Japanese products, which flooded our marketplace, basically ending the dominance of the North American-based products. And this will continue to happen. And I know it scares the living daylights out of everybody, but it's through negotiation, not tariffs, that you get this system down and make it work for everybody that's involved. We now live within the globalized marketplace. Donald Trump, with his isolationist policies, he knows it's not going to work. He himself is heavily vested, and his family is heavily vested in that very Chinese, Indochina, and Indian market. They manufacture stuff there. They don't manufacture stuff here. Are you crazy? It would cost them too much money. They sell the product at what would call the overinflated North American price, but that product is still made in those countries. So what do? Things are changing. We have to accept the fact that things are changing, because at 43 million people for Canada and 438 million people, I believe, for the United States, hey, we're no longer the marketplace. The marketplace is comprised of close to 6 billion people who live in China, India, and Indochina. Europe understands that. That's why Volkswagen is going every which way they can to bit piece and make the different pieces of its car, whichever the place they can make it the cheapest, is where they're going to build it. This is what people don't understand, and it's something that we have to look into at a far greater depth. We cannot protect these industries like we used to. And I know for big car companies and other big U.S. parented companies, it's a scary thought, because the value of their capital diminishes every time. And of course, they're also outsourced into these markets as well. Why? Because that's the marketplace. Economics is a wonderful thing, but people and politicians have to stop, especially politicians, have to stop lying to their electorate. This is not about our economy. It's about how the global economy affects us. Anyway, it snowed here again last night. I'm going to go out and do some shoveling. Waiting on spring here in Alberta. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye now.